ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ You don't give fear to anyone and you don't take fear yourself. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj gives the parabhasha of their Gyanwan Khalse. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj gives the definition of their Gyanwan Khalse. Those Khalse that are filled with their Brahm Gyan. And they say, my Khalsa is that. Pੈ ਕਾਹੂ ਕੋ ਦੇਤ ਨਹਿ ਭੈ ਕਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਮੇਰਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ. My Khalsa does not give fear to anyone. ਨਹਿ ਭੈ ਮਾਨਤ ਆਨ. Neither does that Khalsa take fear upon themselves. They're nirpo, they're apite. Koho nanak sundare mana gyani tahe bakhan. This is the Vikyan, this is the Katha of who is a Gyani. Gyanwan Khalsa. If the world knew that the Khalsa doesn't give fear to anyone, it doesn't take fear themselves, they will say, Aao tusi Raj karo. Aakhi rahe na koi bhi in this world, okha nahi hoega. They won't feel fearful for having the Khalsa rule. They'll say, Maharaj, tusi rule karo. Tusi Padshah ho. Your Guru was over our world. Apite. You're fearless. And you don't give fear to anyone else. Nirpo. Because Paramatma themselves are apite. Guru Sikhs that connect to Maharaj, they also become apite. Hey Maharaj, namastang apite. Maine tenu namaskar karda haan. Namaskar karda. Namaskar means dandot, bandhan, anakabar, sarab kala, samrat. मैं डंडोत डंडे वांग ओट करदा. I bow down like a stick in front of you. Dandot, bandhan means namaskar karni, to bow down. Anek var. Anek means anek, countless times. Var means countless. Var means times. मैं अनेका वारी तेरे अगे मैं डंडोत करदा, बंधन करदा. क्यों? सर्व कला समरथ, तू सारियां कलां दा समरथ हां. You manifest all the powers in the world. डोलन ते राखो प्रभु नानक दे कर हाथ. हे मेरे प्रभु, हे मेरे परमेश्वर, हे मेरे वाहिगुरु जी, अपने हाथ दे के मेरी रक्षा करो. डोलन तो बजा दो महाराज. क्योंकि ये जरा मन है नहीं, कबहू जीड़ा ऊब चढ़ता है, कबहू जाए प्याले. ये जरा मन है नहीं, कई बारी ब्रह्म ज्ञानी हो जाता, कई बारी बड़ा साधु हो जाता है मन, पाठ करता, बंदगी करता, गुरु कर जाता. ते कई बारी कबहू जीड़ा ऊब चढ़ता है, कई बारी मन बड़ा तां नूं चढ़ता है, कबहू जाए प्याले, ते कई बारी नरकां नूं चल जाता है मन. ਉਹੀ ਮਨ ਫਿਰ ਬੇਈਮਾਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ. ਉਹੀ ਮਨ ਫਿਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁਣਦਾ. ਉਹੀ ਮਨ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਯਾਰ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਆ, ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਨਮੁਖ ਵਰ ਕੇ ਜਿੰਦੇ ਆ. That same mind, that same brain that tells you today, I want to go read Gurbani, the same brain tomorrow might turn around and say, I want to watch a movie, I want to do something else with my time, I want to indulge in my growth. The same mind. कोई भरोसा नहीं इस मन दा. So the Khalsa always says in humility, they always do ardas, Maharaj, dolan te rakho Prabhu. Min dolna to bachavo. Dolna means to fall. Dava dol ho jana. Dolna just means not just to fall, but to continuously falling. Wavering. Like a shrabi, like a amali. Continuously falling and falling and falling, not stopping. Mastang pite. Maharaj, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਰ ਤੋਂ ਰਹਿਤ ਹੋ, ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵੀ ਦਰ ਤੋਂ ਰਹਿਤ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ. The Khalsa has nothing to fear because they know that Maharaj is on top of their heads and they're ਸਾਰੀ ਰਕਸ਼ਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ. They know that Guru Garib Nawaz, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj is standing upon their heads right now and they're protecting them. Namastang abahe. Bahi in Sanskrit means puja, which means arms. Bhai means arms. Tori puja. Maharaj Abahi hai. Maharaj does not have arms. Bhav ki Maharaj koi sਰੀਰ nahi hai. Anga to ਰਹਿਤ ਹਨ. Maharaj ਪੰਜ ਭੌਤਿਕ ਸਰੀਰ ਤੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ. Maharaj ਪੰਜ ਭੌਤਿਕ ਸਰੀਰ ਤੋਂ ਰਹਿਤ ਹੈਗੇ ਹੈ. That Parmeshwar, that Vaheguru Ji does not come into the limitations of a body. Guru Granth Maharaj Akal Sutra ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. ਨਾ ਅੰਗ ਹੈ, ਨਾ ਰੰਗ ਹੈ, ਨਾ ਸੰਗ ਹੈ, ਨਾ ਸਾਥ ਹੈ, ਨਾ ਦੋਖ ਹੈ, ਨਾ ਦਾਗ ਹੈ, ਨਾ ਦੁਆਖ ਹੈ, ਨਾ ਦੇਹ ਹੈ. ਕਿ ਉਹ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਅੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. That ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ Maharaj is not a mere of the five elements, because the five elements are limited. The five elements are Sarup. The five elements are Jad. They don't have any consciousness. Jad means jo aap nu nahi janda te due nu nahi janda. Jad da arth jo aap nu nahi janda te due nu nahi janda. Jad means a thing that does not know itself, does not know what's around it. A rock, it's Jad. It doesn't know it's a rock, it doesn't know people around it, it's people. Chetata, Chen means consciousness. The Tat, the five elements are Jad Swarup. They have no consciousness of their own. The only consciousness they because of the Atma, because of Paramatma, the light of the Atma, then they are given consciousness. But it is only a reflection of the consciousness from the Atma that they're carrying. The five elements of themselves have nothing to them. Is karke, because of this, made the five elements is Jad Swarup. The only consciousness is from the light. Maharaj ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਬਾਹੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਰੀਰ ਤੋਂ ਰਹਿਤ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੰਜ ਭੌਤਿਕ ਸਰੀਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੇਤਨਤਾ ਸਰੂਪ ਹੋ. You're not ਜੜ ਸਰੂਪ. ਨਮਸਤੰ ਅਟਾਹੇ. ਢਾਹੇ, ਢਾਹੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਢਾਹ ਲੈਣਾ. ਢਾਹ ਲੈਣ ਦਾ ਅਰਥ ਹੈ ਕਿਸ ਮਿਟਾਣਾ, to destroy someone, ਨਸ਼ਟ ਕਰਨਾ, to destroy something, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਢਾਹੇ. ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਟਾਹੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਢਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ. No one can destroy you. ਪਰ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕੋਈ ਸਰੀਕਾ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ. There's no one on the other side that can hurt you. There's no one on the other side that can touch you, because you yourself are all that exists. ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਟਾਹੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾਸ਼ ਹੋਣ ਤੋਂ ਰਹਿਤ ਹੋ. ਮੇਰੀ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਹੈ. ਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਤਿਸੰਗ ਜੀ. ਨਮਸਤੰ ਅਨੀਲੇ. ਸਤਿਸੰਗ ਜੀ, ਨੀਲ ਦਾ ਅਰਥ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. You have a certain calculation you can make. You start from ikai, then you move to dukai, then you have sankre, you have hajar, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore, 10 crore, then you have kharab, 10 kharab, then you have arab, then you have 10 arab, then you have neel. So neel is a very long ginti. And ਨੀਲੇ ਦਾ ਭਾਵ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੇ. You don't come into any calculations, even a very big one. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨੀਲੇ ਹੋ. ਨੀਲ ਦਾ ਅਰਥ ਅਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਕਲੰਕ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ. Neel also means kalank, a stain, apavitrata, mal. Maya is called mal. When we say nirmal, ki mal to rahat, maya to mal to rahat. Why is Maya called mal? Because the concept of mal is the concept of Maya. For example, look at earwax. Earwax is considered mal, kandi mal. Now, earwax is not separate from the body and is not part of the body. It's not separate from the body, it's not part of the body, it's somewhere in between. In the same way is Maya. Maya is not part of the body of Paramatma and is not separate either. It is somewhere in between. It is just an illusion. Just like the mirage of water on a desert. The mirage of water on the desert, the water is not part of the desert, but at the same time, it's not separate. It's just a mirage. It's just an illusion. Actually, does not exist. If the desert was not there, the mirage would not be there either. The mirage, the existence of the mirage is only because of the existence of the desert. Mal, anile. Mara ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਾਇਆ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਲ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਹੋ, because Maya is mal, because mal is duality. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਨੀਲੇ ਹੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ. ਨਮਸਤੰ ਅਨਾਦੇ. ਨਾਦ ਅਰਥ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਮੁੱਢ, ਆਰੰਭ, ਉਤਪਤੀ. ਅਨਾਦੇ. ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਮੁੱਢ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਆਰੰਭ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਉਤਪਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. You have no start date. ਅਗਮ ਅਨੰਤ ਅਨਾਦ ਆਦ ਜਿਸ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਜਾਣੈ. ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਗੰਮ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਨੰਤ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਨਾਦ ਹੋ. Gam means gaman karna, to walk upon. I can't walk to you, that's why you're agam. Anant means something you can count up, a countable number. Anant means that you are infinite. Anad means toda koi aad nahi hai, toda koi arambh nahi hai. Because if something has a start, though, then definitely had an end as well. Maharaj, toda koi arambh nahi hai. इस करके ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਅੰਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. ਨਮਸਤੰ ਅਛੇਦੇ. ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਛੇਦੇ. ਛੇਦੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕੱਟਣਾ. To cut up someone. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਛੇਦਣਾ. To cut up. ਕੱਟਣਾ. ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਛੇਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਟੁਕਰੇ ਟੁਕਰੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ. ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਰੂਪ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਅਟਲ ਹੈ. Your Swarup can never be cut up. This Maya is cut up. This world is cut up. How we divide things into 7 continents. We divide things into countries, states, borders. It's divided by borders. There's limits to how much UK is. There's limits to how much New York State is, New Jersey is, America is, Canada is. There's a limit. Maya, no one can cut up you, Pav. Ke ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ limit ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. No one can put a limit on you. ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸੀਮਾ ਇੰਜ ਤੱਕ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੱਦ ਬੱਦੀ ਇੰਨੇ ਤੱਕ ਹੈ. No. You're ਅਗਾਧੇ. ਨਮਸਤੰ ਅਗਾਧੇ. ਗਾ ਦਾ ਅਰਥ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਡੂੰਘਾਈ, ਡੀਪਨੈਸ. ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਗਾਧੇ ਹੋ. Deepness, even deepness has an end to it. Maharaj, there's no end to you. There's no end to your Swarup. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਗਾਧੇ ਹੋ ਭਾਵ ਕਿ ਗੰਭੀਰ ਹੋ. ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ. ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਇੱਥੇ 7 ਪੌੜੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਗਈਆਂ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਰਾਮ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇਂਗੇ. ਵਿਸ਼ਰਾਮ ਦੇਣ ਤੋਂ ਉਪਰੰਤ ਆਪਾਂ we can start a Q&A. Das will read the last 4 ਪੰਕਤੀਆਂ and we'll say ਫਤਿਹ. ਨਮਸਤੰ ਅਨੀਲੇ. ਨਮਸਤੰ ਅਨਾਦੇ. ਨਮਸਤੰ ਅਛੇਦੇ. ਨਮਸਤੰ ਅਗਾਧੇ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Satsang, we'll open up to Q&A now. So if anyone has questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and we'll take it from there. You can also put it into the Q&A box. I have one question here from Kabir Singh. So I'm going to take that question. Thank you, Ji, for doing the Katha. Aapji mentioned earwax in my analogy. Could Aapji explain this? Ek sravante mail nikara, taate mad ki tabtan tara, duti kante mail nikari, taate pe srist ehisari. Haji Maharaj, very good question. This is exactly what I was referring to in the Katha. Ke Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, in the 2nd adhyay of Bachitra Natak. Bachitra Natak is the beautiful Bani by Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. In the 2nd adhyay, they start off by saying, you Khalsudi, the story of my being. Ab main kahun apni katha. I'll tell you my own katha, Khalsa ji. And in that, they start from the very beginning. They start from the very beginning of time and how creation was created. Because कई बार पसरियो pasara. This world has been created many times. And in this Bani, Guru Sahib describes how the creation was created in one of those times, maybe this time. So they start off by saying, they start out describing Vaiguruji. They say, Sahasrash jaake subso hai. Sahas means a hajar, like we were talking about before. Hajar. Ansh means akkhan. Sahasrash jaake subso hai means जिन को सोने हजार अखां हैगियां सहस पाद जाके तन मोह है जिससे शरीर ते हजार ही पैर हैगे पाद मींस पैर शेख नाग पर सोए बहु करे जो शेख नाग ते सोंदा है who sits on the शेष नाग जग ते शेख साईं उचरे उन्हों सारा जगत शेख साईं कहंदा कि तू साईं आ तू you're the master of शेख नाग. Now that Paramatma, that Sarup that Maharaj just described, that Maharaj has thousands of heads, they have thousands of eyes, they have thousands of eyes. That same Paramatma Guru Nanak Dev describes in Kirtan Soila Vivir. K Maharaj, Guru Nanak Dev says the same exact thing. Okay, फिर महाराज कहते एक श्रवण ते मैल निकाला कि that Paramatma then from one ear, श्रवण means ear, they took मैल out. मैल दी गल करदे पे मैनू एक श्रवण ते मैल निकाला एक श्रवण तो एक कान तो मैल निकाली ਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਮਦ ਕੀਟ ਤਨ ਧਾਰਾ ਜਿਸ ਤੋਂ ਦੋ ਦੈਂਤ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਏ from that earwax two demons were created ਮਦ ਤੇ ਕੈਟਵ ਦੁਤੀय ਕਾਨ ਤੇ ਮੈਲ ਨਿਕਾਰੀ from the second kan from the second more earwax ਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਭਈ ਸ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ from there the whole world was created. So ਇੱਕ ਕੰਨ ਤੋਂ ਮਦ ਕੀਟ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਏ ਇੱਕ ਕੰਨ ਤੋਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਬਣ ਗਈ. ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਇਹਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ Bujarat samjho. This is a Bujarat, this is a riddle. The riddle is that, like we said, earwax is not separate from the body, it's not part of the body. It's in between. Manatham prithme khanda sajika jin sabse sar upaya. And in another way, Guru Sahib explains the same concept by saying that prithme khanda sajke, ki Maharaj ne first made the khanda. Jin sabse sar upaya, from the khanda all of the sansar came to be. ਹੁਣ ਕੋਈ ਕਹੇ ਕਿ ਖੰਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਖੰਡਾ has two sides to it ਦੋ ਧਾਰਾਂ ਵਾਲਾ ਸ਼ਸਤਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਖੰਡਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਖੰਡਾ has two sides two sharp edges that's why it's called khanda. Maharaj is saying that from duality from Maya came all of sansar the word sansar means sansar eho sansar hai. Bhai Gurdas Ji Guru Sahib also in their Bani they say sansar eho sansar hai that the sansar is sansar. Look at the word sansar. You take the rara away, you left with sansa. Sansa means doubt, two, duality, up and down, happiness and sadness, hunger and thirst, coming and going, birth and death. Mother Katap, Maharaj said from one ear they made mother and Katap. Mother means sukh, Katap means dukh. Mother means up, Katap means down. Mother Katap is a sense of duality. From one earwax, Maharaj made all of sansar, and from the other earwax, they put the two qualities within the sansar, the duality within the sansar. Good. I hope that answers the question, Kabir Singh. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to text them and chat box, or you can unmute yourself. I'll also explain what Maharaj says next. They say, is it a question coming in? So I'll wait for that question. But until then, I'll just explain the next punkti. Tinko kal bohur bad kara. So Maharaj said that when they made those two demons, Mattikarta, which we went into, we went into the riddle of those two demons. But they were saying that then later on, Paramatma came and killed those demons, right? Tinko made Samundamo para, and their Medha, Punjabi liver karandiya, or bone marrow, as is known, it stayed in the Samundar for a long time from the ocean because the world was just ocean, right? So the two demons they were killed, and their bone marrow or their liver was just in the ocean for a long time. And then chicken taas jad paratir rahi for किन्नी देर बसे उत्थे रही मेदा नाम तबे हिते गई इस करके दुनिया का नाम मेदा बह गया मेदनी कहते दुनिया ਨੂੰ नहीं like in गुरबाणी comes मेदनी अलमल होई मेदनी अरदास करी लवला इथों मेदनी नाम शुरू होया. So they're saying that from the two demons that have been killed the earth was made. Yeah. So we were saying the two demons are duk and suk, up and down duality. When a Gursikh kills their duality, they kills the two-ness, me and you, then the earth, the tarti of dharm is made inside them. Okay, ji. We'll click one more question from Dijot Singh, and then we'll call it a day for today. Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh. I have a question. What does Bhagat Kabir ji mean by Ved Kateb kaho mat jhoothe jhootha jo na bichara? Ved means the Abrahamic religion text, the Quran, the Torah, the Bible. Kateb, I'm sorry, Ved means the Sanatan text, the Veds, Shesh Shastras, 28 Smritiyan, and so on and so forth. Kateb means the Abrahamic text, the Torah, the Bible, Quran. Kaho mat jhoothe, don't call them jhoothe, no jhoothe na kaho. झूठे जो ना बिचारा है माने ਉਹ ਝੂਠੇ ਜੋ ਵਿਚਾਰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੇ ਬੋਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ so this applies to us as well ਕਿ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਬਿਨਾ ਹੋਰ ਕੱਚੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਨਾ ਕਿ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਤੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾ ਬਾਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ for a Sikh ਉਸ Sikh because ਮਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ when the mind isn't into the Bani, when the mind isn't doing vichar of the Gurbani, it's doing vichar of other things, then in that moment that Gursikh is kacha, or at that moment that Abhyasi is chut, like Bhakti is saying here, because vichar nahi chal rahi. Vichar nahi chal rahi. Vichar is what that part of your mind that contemplates. For example, you can be listening to this katha, but your vichar could be of something else, your mind could be thinking of something else. I'll give you an example of calm. When someone does vichar of calm, how does that look like? They think of the person they're thinking of, whether it be a girl or a boy. Then they go into it more and more. If I was hanging out with them, if I went here with them, and it can get deeper and deeper. If I was doing this with them, if I was doing that with them, vichar. In that moment, that person is totally engrossed in those thoughts. Then they cannot be. They physically could be anywhere. It could be in a kodora, but their mind is doing calm at that point. Right? So ਝੂਠੇ ਜੋ ਨਾ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਮੀਨ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੜੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉਹ like ਬਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਲਾਭ ਹੈ don't get me wrong but here in this Siddhant, in this conversation Bhagavad Gita is bringing our attention to our mind process at that time. Where's our mind at? If it's not in the Bani that we're reading, if it's not in the scripture that we're reading, then at that moment we're ਝੂਠੇ, we're lying to ourselves. We're saying that we're doing Sukhmani Sapa, but we're not. We're saying we're doing Anupama, but we're truly not. We're somewhere else in that moment. Hope that helps you. Viji, a question from Hargun Singh. Viji, what should we ask for when we do Ardas Samaj? Like, is it okay to ask for materialistic things, or should we ask for something else, something related to Naam? दोनों चीज़ आंदी है गुरबानी विच. You have Bhagit Anna ji who says दाल सीधा मांगो कियो कि मैं दाल मांग रही तुहाडे कोलों कियो means कियो मांग रहे तुहाडे कोलों दाल सीधा मांगो कियो हमारा खुशी करे नित जियो मेरी खुशी देखो महाराज give me I want to be happy नित दे हमारा खुशी करे नित जियो पनिया शादनी का अनाज मांगो सत्सी का ये सारे दुनिया दे पदार्थ हैगे आ अनाज सत्सी का वाले अनाज मांगदे पे they're just asking for different worldly things go pass mango laveri ek tajin turi chingeri I need a cow I need a horse ek tajin turi chingeri tajin means horse cow and horse meaning you can say car house ਤੁਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਮੰਨ ਕੇ then ਫਿਰ ਘਰ ਕੀ ਹਨ ਚੰਗੀ I want to get married as well you know so these are all ਜਨਤਨਾ ਲੈਵਾ ਮੰਗੀ you know so ਭਗਤ ਨਜੀਸ like I ask for these things ਕਿ ਮਤਲਬ ਦੁਨੀਆਦਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ we need them at a certain time as well right and because we need them who else we could ask from definitely have to ask from Maharaj at the same time ਰੂਹਾਨੀਅਤ ਜੀਵਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਹਨਾ ਰੂਹਾਨੀਅਤ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ we need ਨਾਮ we need to connect to you we need ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਪ ਤਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਆਪ ਜਪਾਏ ਸੁਣਾ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਪਾਏਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਪ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਾਪ ਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੋਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਹਰ ਦਾਤ ਹੀ ਮੰਗਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੋਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਹੀ ਮੰਗਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਨਾਲ ਫਿਰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਹੋਰ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਜੀ thank you so much for everyone their questions their love they participating in the katha please do bring friends along for next week and the weeks after it will be much more pleasurable Satchin ji thank you ਦਾਸ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਭੁੱਲਾ ਚੁੱਕਾ ਦੀ ਖਿਮਾ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ